hello everyone, I'm David Guerrero and welcome back to another video on Many Ways Films. As of this moment, Christmas is not too far away. It's like 7 or 8 days away. I'm not really sure. But I'm always thinking that I'd rather get something for my camera than something for myself. Like, I'd rather not get a new pair of shoes and save some money for a new lens or something like that. And if you are similar to that, or you think similar to me, you might be, saving to buy something on Christmas, whether that's a camera, a new microphone, a tripod, or something like that. And that's what I want to talk on the video of today. I want to tell you about things that I didn't really need and things that I didn't think I needed, but now I'm really grateful that I actually have. And number 3, things that I think they're like a must to have if you are getting into filmmaking, blogging and things like that. First of all, because this is like easier for me, I'm gonna tell you about the things that I really like. I'm really glad that I have. Having a camera monitor, like let's see, like the one that I have right here, that I would have not noticed that I was a little bit out of focus if I didn't look at it. It's one of the things that I'm really grateful that I have, because it just, first of all, I need it for the camera that I have right here, because if not, I wouldn't be able to see what I'm recording. But even when I'm like making these types of videos and I have a camera that doesn't have a rotating screen, now I'm able to see myself and see how I look, how's like the lighting and all of that. And if I like the composition that the video has, it makes it easier when you're recording. It adds up a little bit of weight, batteries, and just like carrying around. But I'm really happy and grateful that I have a monitor. I'm gonna leave in the description which one I have right now, which I really like. You can put LUTs on it, which gives you an idea of how your footage is gonna look after working on it. If you don't have one, I would definitely recommend getting one. At least something between $70 and $100 is gonna give you like really good image quality. It's not gonna make your image better, but it's gonna give you a good image to see while you are recording. And before moving on, this is one of those things that I think that it's a must, like you really need to have, especially if you want to make videos like this. Even if you have a rotating screen, I would still recommend having one of these. But if you're not like into that type of videos, this is not gonna be a must for you. The next one, it's really like a must for me, and I think in every aspect, and it's getting a decent microphone. Now I feel like there's like many types of microphones. There's like lav mics, not that we didn't have them before, but what I'm trying to say is that they are more easy to get. They don't have crazy prices. There's many brands that are making a great microphone with really good materials, and that they sound really good. The ones that I'm using right now is the Comica lav wireless microphones, and they sound really good. They have many types of them. I think they have like 3 or 4 types of lav mics for different prices. I think this one, it's around $150, something like that. Not sure. I'm gonna leave them on the description. You can never go wrong with a Rode microphone. That's what I always have on my cameras, a shotgun microphone, and I think that's a must. Like, always have a shotgun microphone. They're not perfect. It is true that they're not perfect for every situation, but I'd say 90% of the time, if not 100% of the time, it's better to have a shotgun microphone than nothing at all, because it's gonna make your sound clear. You're gonna be able to have more fidelity in your sound, so it's just gonna make your sound a lot better. There's always other options like these lav mics, or NTG microphones that you can use as shotgun microphones. But just to be basic and get a really big boost on sound quality, having a shotgun microphone, it's a must, and I will always recommend having one on your camera. This Rode MyGo 2 is a great microphone to start. It's only $100, and I made a sound comparison of that microphone with some others, and I really love that microphone. So that will be a really good option to start. Another must is gonna be having a tripod. This is where I think that you shouldn't go cheap. I think that starting out with a really good microphone is gonna make your life easier. I cannot tell you how many times I've used my tripods and how important they are. I used to have 3 tripods at a time. I gave one away, and then immediately after I lost my favorite tripod, and now I just have one. I have that camera on the table, and that is one of the things that I'm gonna get this Christmas. I'm gonna get a nice tripod. I think it's one of the things that you need to always have. You don't need to have 2 if you only have 1 camera, but if you do have a camera, and it doesn't matter what types of videos you're making, it's gonna come so handy. They're so useful for making time lapses, for recording yourself, just to getting steady shots, and even for filmmaking or things like that. It's gonna be so useful. So always have a tripod. I'd say have it in your car all the time. If you're going out, you never know when you're gonna use it. And yeah, I would always suggest to get a nice tripod. I made the mistake to get like a cheap one, and then maybe a little bit better one, and then a little bit better one. I'd say with around, just to get a decent one, you're gonna have to spend around $120 going really like kind of cheap. You're not getting like the best, like those are like super expensive, but something that is gonna be a great price and it's just not gonna let you down. It's gonna be around $150, if not a little bit more. And number 4, I think, if you are planning on getting a nice camera, like if you're planning to spend between, I don't know, $1,000 to $2,000 on a camera that is gonna record in 4K, 60 or 120 frames per second, this is not a must. I'm not telling you that you should get an expensive camera. I'm really not saying that. What I'm trying to say is that if you are already going to buy an expensive camera, you have to understand that most of those files are not gonna be able to play back, or you're not gonna be able to edit them on a basic $300, $400, $500, $600 computer. You might, hardly, but well, we just built a computer for a friend. We bought the parts and everything on Black Friday, and it was around $700, and it was a crazy good computer. But have in mind, those were like Black Friday deals where, like, you know, some computer parts were like 40-50% off. Some of them were like at least 20%, and we got really good deals. But if you are considering getting a camera with high image quality, like 4K or 6K or 60 frames or 120 FPS, don't make the mistake of not having a really good computer. And for me, a really good computer can go between, again, $700 to wherever you want. Moving on, I want to tell you about the things that I really didn't need, like I kind of regret buying because I don't really use them. And the first one is gonna be my camera stabilizer. I originally bought it for the weddings that I was working on, and you know, get like those steady shots and some beautiful shots. I'm gonna be showing you some of the shots that I've got, and they're really pretty. I mean, they really elevate your footage a lot, don't take me wrong, but when you take into consideration how heavy it is, how much you're gonna be really using it, at least in my experience, it's one of the things that I regret, because I could have got like I mean, when I got it, it was like $500. I could have got like a pretty nice prime lens with that money, and I would have probably used it a lot more than the stabilizer. So I kind of regret that purchase. I'm not saying that I haven't used it or that hasn't come in handy, that is not useful. It is great. I do think that it makes your videos a lot better, but I honestly don't really use it. So unless you're seriously thinking that you're gonna be using it all the time, have in mind that it makes your camera like double its weight. So if you're gonna be shooting for a long time, I wouldn't necessarily suggest getting one. Number 2, this is a little bit on the general side. If you're considering on buying a lens and you're wanting to buy like prime lenses, I would suggest that you're very careful, because it could be that you're getting a pretty affordable lens, that it's like a vintage lens with great image, but you know that you're gonna be using it a lot and you're gonna be happy with that lens, or you're just gonna be getting like a certain prime lens that it's more expensive and you're gonna stay with that one for a long time. It has autofocus and you're gonna be happy with it. It's kind of a difficult situation where you have to take a decision. For me, I have like vintage lenses that are like pretty affordable. I love the image, they have like great character, and then I have like prime lenses that are like around $500 and I really love, but those are like for photography and for weddings and having the best image I can get. And then I have like manual lenses that I use for like my film camera. So what I'm trying to say is that when you are getting a lens, make sure that you do the proper research on the lens, that you are at least like 90% sure that you're gonna stay with this lens for a long time. I made the mistake of getting like a $70, $100 manual lens that I thought, well, it'll be fine because I can't get like a $300 one. And I think that's a big mistake. I think it's better to be patient and maybe wait 3-6 months, even a year, to get a better lens that you're gonna stay with it and it's just gonna work a lot better than getting like the cheap version that is just gonna be soft and not get you the best image quality. And the last one is gonna be a love-hate, and it's having a drone. Have in mind that if you're getting a drone like a Mavic Air 2 or a Pro or one of those drones, you cannot most of the time just go fly it. You have to register your drone, and if you want to get paid with it, you have to, you know, go through the course and pass the course and, you know, have your flying license to be able to fly that drone. And it's not a toy. It's not one of those things that you can just say, oh, I'm just gonna go out and shoot with my drone and have fun with it. It's a little bit more complicated than that. You have to be very responsible. I'm not saying that those are the reasons that you shouldn't get it, but I'm saying have in mind those things. How much are you gonna use a drone? Because if you're getting a good drone, again, I think a pretty good drone is gonna go between $600 and $1,000 for a good drone. You can get something better than that for like $1,200, but have in mind how much are you gonna use it. Some of these things can sound very exciting when you think about them, like I'm gonna have a drone and I'm gonna get these crazy images, but sometimes you get it and after 2 or 3 months you realize how annoying it is to, you know, be able just to fly the drone, and how much are you really gonna use it on your videos. On the other side, if you're gonna be traveling and you understand all of these things, or you're like really careful and you know there's no much risk on flying this drone, it can really also elevate your videos. You have to really think about these things. So there you have it. Those are things that I, really like. I'm really glad that I have, and other things that I'm not so happy I got, because I don't really use them, or they can be a hassle. But in the end, it's up to you. Don't let my opinion take the interest on these things. It's more of a suggestion. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't, or I'm telling you it's a bad idea. It's in my opinion, it's in my experience. I work on wedding videos. I do some real estate like twice a month, and then I love to just have my camera with me all the time. I have a mirrorless Nikon C6 II, which is what I carry with me the whole time. Is this camera over here, and not this one that you're looking at right now. And you have to be smart at the time of getting something so expensive like a camera or a lens or a filmmaking accessory. So just be thoughtful, and if you're gonna shop, be smart. That's all I can say for the video of today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any question, let me know, just the basic, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya.